I really don't know what to say. Welcome to the podcast, bitch. There we go.
Cut the music. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to the podcast, bitch. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know how to start the podcast, so there it is. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Keeping a Straight Face. I'm keeping that in.
Yeah, no, that's quite funny.
I think that's quite funny. Welcome back, bitch. Okay. Reminds me of Rick and Morty, you know, Scary Terry.
Yeah.
When he's like, he calls everyone bitch. Okay. Welcome to episode 3. We had a successful time with episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loved our new co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Our main topic this week is going to be teleshopping.
Main topic?
Yeah.
Main topic?
Main topic of the episode. I've been compelled. Is that the right word? I've been looking forward to talk about teleshopping with you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll leave the other topics for later on.
Right.
Start now, and we can also talk about other topics. Absolutely free.
Already in the,
Yeah.
you've got the gist of it. But I thought, so it goes all the way back to the other week when I...
Before time
way
began.
back.
So the other week...
When dinosaurs roamed the earth.
There was nothing on
Last
telly.
week.
Yeah, there's nothing on telly. So I sat down, and with you were there.
We sat down.
We sat down with our dinner, and I thought, let's not flicking through the telly, nothing on these days. So I thought, well, we'll just put on teleshopping. It seems fun. Used to watch it in the past. There was a channel called Rocks & Co. It's gone now. They stopped doing it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Well, there it is.
Was that like a jewellery thing? Or?
Yeah, jewelry stuff. And the main host of it was called, his name, Diva John Scott. That was his name. He was the one who, like, the model for the... any Rocks & Co listeners out there, or fans, you'll know it. Well, don't look at people.
All three of them. Hello, Doris. Nice to hear from you again.
Oh, but, well, you never know. People might have watched it.
Reader of the year, 1983. Hello, Maureen.
But no, so we're watching it. And it's not like I'm going to talk positively about it, but it's not like I'm going to talk negatively about it. Because teleshopping for me, I've never liked it. But once you start watching it, you get interested, you get invested into it. Do you feel
Well, that's how they work, isn't it? The voice,
yeah.
the music. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm never invested in it. I'm usually just sort of laughing at it. It's
Normally
not...
watching it because I'm watching
Buy this unnecessary toot, and your life will be better.
Yeah.
Well, because the host is so dysfunctional.
Oh my god, that old man. Do you remember
Yeah,
the
I
old man
know.
on it?
It's so good.
So this was before we started watching teleshopping.
This must have been like a year ago now.
Lines are standing by.
Months ago, a long time.
A long time ago, we watched teleshopping for a joke. We were flicking through the channels again.
Well, like, we just sort of stumbled across it. We were like just flicking through channels, and then just there was teleshopping on, and on it was this old.
Do you think I could insert the audio
Yeah, we
clip?
can. Yeah,
Could
I'll play it now, and then you can either like match it up or something. But
I'll dub. So for the listeners now, this is what we heard.
Or the thing that went bang in the night. Usually for me, the things that go bang in the night are my back, my rear buttock, going backwards and forwards to toilet, 958, half price, free P&P. Enjoy a good night's sleep.
so it's just this old man trying to sell a mattress with really like a.
Talking about his buttock.
Yeah, they always try and sell it with like their own anecdotes,
And humour.
but they never sound like real human beings. Like just this weird anecdote about how his rear buttock goes bang in the night. It's...
But we were flicking through the channels, and that is literally. So we had to rewind the telly.
Yeah,
He was saying that while we're flicking through, and we thought, what? What did he just say? Like, did we just hear that?
yeah, like in the video, he's like kneeling next. He's got one arm on the mattress, and he's leaning
He's got the elbow in
next
the air.
to
He's like wiggling his elbow back.
leaning next to the bed,
Oh,
Cringe.
just like leering
I
into the
know.
camera. It's
like obviously, and I think we can get away with that because we're not mentioning names or channels. But yeah, that's what we came across.
I can't remember what channel it was.
Same
God
one
knows what
with
his name
the speakers, which I was going to talk
Yeah.
about today. I can't say too much because
what
we'll
we
get down
saw
for line.
recently was
They're trying to be trendy, like these hip shows.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we've got an hour of fun coming up next. You know, we've got like Mavis and she's hosting her summer cocktail party or something. Like
we've got Bob in like the tech studio with the latest Bluetooth stereo system.
Yeah.
It's this little phone that you can carry around in your pocket. It's a revolution.
But this is what we talk about. I mean, obviously there's the British teleshopping, which we're used to. But then you get that American teleshopping.
They're the funniest.
That's
they
the
make it a
one
whole
like.
half hour like
that's
show.
The thing.
And they have that energetic music in the background. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
We
And they have,
will
like, a
sell
special
you
guest.
shit.
And then and the best thing is they've got like guests that try and they're supposed to ask unscripted questions, but they're so scripted. So I invited some friends round, and what have you got to say? Oh, this is the most delicious food ever. How long do you have to cook that for? What are the settings? These are things you would never fucking ask.
This is
never
like a
asked.
normal conversation.
I
never
cooked the
happened.
fish chopper, and I love the fish
Oh
chopper.
my.
It's marvellous. The fish chopper is absolutely splendid.
And it's just... But a lot of it's just stuff that you think...
No,
right,
it's stuff you wouldn't ask.
Here's a pot that you put in your microwave, and it cooks food. Like, right, so like any other pot then.
And can I get it in pink?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Cool now, and we'll also send you this baking tray and cutlery set.
Do you know what that is though?
Why?
That's because
What for?
they've got loads more in the stockroom that you just need to get rid of.
Yeah.
So they'll just
It's because
flourish
someone
you.
thought it was a good idea. Why don't I make
Yeah.
a microwavable bowl in like metallic pink?
What Dragon Den person gave him that?
Yeah.
Like, who flogged him that?
Where did they get the money to make all this took?
American television in general is just an absolute nightmare.
Well, they also
Yeah.
have televangelism, don't they?
Oh god, they do.
That's the
Actually,
one that gets
yeah.
me.
Surprisingly enough, when we were briefing the podcast last night, you actually
I
said
brought that last
you
night.
said let's talk about it, and I said it might be too touchy. But if
Well, it's
we
just
could go into it,
Christians go on telly and ask for money.
It's like they act all theatrical,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the power of Jesus is with us tonight,
my-
and then
is
like
that-
people start rocking around and like fitting out.
is that
And,
the
like,
one?
and then the number comes up. Call
Yeah.
now 0906. Blah, 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 blah,
is
blah,
that the
give
one
me your
where
cash.
someone kept emailing the the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I can't say it.
That was one of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
a while ago.
they
Yeah,
kept
That's what I'm
yeah,
emailing that.
like the
They
script
go on
thing.
TV and like they get called to
And,
call in
yeah.
and be like, "Oh, so my sister got in a car crash. Can you send prayers to me?" And they're, "Oh yeah, we'll pray for
There's
you."
some
And-
woman on the video. You can look at it on YouTube, and she says like she reads out this email.
Downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was born and
raised.
raised, and as a young Christian, I spent most of my days watching your channel. And then
she
someone
gets,
like says to her,
halfway through it, and they're like, "No, hold on, that's the
yeah,
Fresh
they
Prince
say,
of
oh,
Bel-Air."
that's a prankster. He emails in, and she says, oh, in that case, we're deleting you from our email system. And like she makes this big deal out of it.
Because
I
they
love it.
have control over the internet.
Well, Christ can compel you. The power of Christ compels you to buy whatever teleshopping is selling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just all American television is just
Can you imagine
over
if
the
you fuse
top.
them together, teleshopping plus
Oh my
televangelism,
God.
just like merge them into one unholy beast.
I would want to end it.
Call now, and we'll also send you this holy water.
Cool now will also give you a noose.
Capitalist Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my.
like the worst of all worlds, just
Oh.
smushed into one convenient package.
But you know, we're on the topic of like American TV now. I just don't like it overall because they're ad breaks.
Yeah.
It's their
You got
adverts
5 minute long
Yeah.
ad breaks every 5 minutes.
every 5 minutes. If you ever watch an American show where they have the ad break, like it cuts to black every so often, like after every scene, and then there's always when it comes back from like a cut to black, there's always a like 5 second recap of what happened before
Yeah.
the adverts.
Or it's extended past 5 seconds, and you're like, no, I've already seen this. I know what's going on.
Yeah,
So you get 5 minutes of adverts, 1 minute of recap for the last 5 minutes you saw, and then 4 minutes of actual new
Yeah.
stuff,
And then a fresh commercial
minutes
break.
of adverts. It's
Just
absolute
intense.
hell.
Drag Race do it a lot. I know
Yeah.
on Drag Race they always cut to black like every other scene.
Things the adverts are always more theatrical than the actual shows as well.
Yeah.
Like it's all so aggressive and like bam, pow, pow. Ooh, new thing, buy it. It's, yeah.
You got to admit though, it's a bit more like uplifting than like British adverts in the daytime, because all they are is just all they are is charity or those awful adverts like, can you afford to die? The cost of
Yeah.
living's rising,
Oh my
but
God.
can you afford
Have
to
you
die?
seen the advert where she says, he says, oh, I could make parsnip wine out of it, or parsnip
Oh,
jam.
your mail came to my house. Oh, it's my funeral plan. Oh, I might get one of those too. No one has these conversations ever.
Unless you're old and you're over 50.
In
No, but even
America,
then, you don't. You don't.
because it's all like private healthcare and like you can advertise medication and stuff. You get like pharmaceutical adverts where like, oh, if you don't buy this medication, you'll die tomorrow in your sleep. And then they show some educational. There's like this happy family walking down the road.
Now here's the sciencey bit.
Yeah, here's how it works, and then
you have,
it eats the cancer alive, and then there's like a whole minute of like terms and conditions where if you take this, you might get a different type of cancer. Well, they say it really quickly, and it's just this whole like 5-minute
like
rigmarole where
there.
It's just awful. It's like shampoo commercials where like the obligatory female actress has an orgasm whilst trying it out. Oh yes! Oh, it's so good! And you think, this never happens!
No, never.
No!
Yeah.
Oh
Well.
god.
Wow.
We went a bit off topic there, but back to teleshopping. You get that a lot, but the bit why I thought I'd bring it up is because I don't like it. I don't hate it. I know people have got to sell it. They've got to get their jush somehow, and via teleshopping that could be some people's jush. But the bit I don't like is when they put it on, and it's old people are vulnerable to it. They flashy colours, big text. You have to have this, and your life will be changed.
They're elderly, not like toddlers.
I
Flashy
know,
colours
but
and
listen. What I'm trying to say is, elderly people are vulnerable,
yeah,
and they buy all of this shit they don't need.
They're not vulnerable to colours. They're vulnerable to being told, "Oh, I do need this, don't I? Oh, it's very important."
The flashy
I'll get
colours
this.
help, though.
Well, yeah,
And the
a
music.
bit,
And the
but like
music.
it's not like
And the
key
repetitive
part.
phrases.
And then
Yeah.
ooh-wee.
You can do 30 recipes in under a minute. Yeah, but are any of them actually any good?
Yeah. What was that one you showed me? And it was this machine where it steamed rice in the... No, what was that?
It's a pressure cooker that goes in a microwave.
Yeah, pressure cooker goes in the microwave and it can steam rice without any water.
And pasta.
How can
You
it
put
cook...
raw pasta in, it cooks it.
Raw pasta, you don't need water. It cooks pasta. And then you can put food... Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. There could be science. Where's the sciencey bit? We never know.
Well,
we never know.
Well, the advert for that was fronted by a winner of a popular cookery programme in the UK. Even though it was an American advert.
Let me guess, was it Bake Off?
Well, okay. Well, if you're gonna throw names around...
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, it's fine.
The thing about teleshopping is that it's also dated. Like everything's just sort of a bit backwards compared to just reality.
Yeah, no.
You have like, first of all, it's in like 240p, so it's also
And 4x3.
grainy. Yeah,
They always crop it to the...
And those
4x3.
sets that try and look like dream kitchens or dream living rooms. No one has rooms like that.
They were dream
It's
kitchens
impossible.
10 years ago.
Look, when we were watching Teleshopping, and he said if you get these pots and pans, you can store them away in your cupboard easily. And he opened one cupboard, and it was just someone had thrown all their pots in, and there was another cupboard.
Like, if you organised it properly, all the pots would have fit perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And then he opened up the other cupboard, and there were these like tiny little neat pots.
In the
It
corner,
was like a
very in the corner.
The thing is, it was an expensive, well-known, like well-established brand. The biggest issue with a lot of the stuff they sell is that they don't know who they're targeting, because the people that want pots and pans that fit into really tiny spaces are people that can't afford enough space. And if you can afford this big name brand of pans, you probably have a bigger space that you don't need to fit all these tiny pans into.
It did have a hefty price tag.
It was a hefty price tag, like a couple £100.
I mean, their target audience, it literally followed on from Bluetooth speakers for raves to pans. There's not a demographic who want both.
Because you just feel like cooking after a rave, don't you?
Yeah.
It's just a dumb thing.
Yeah, I know.
But those speakers as well, like that.
I can't even remember the brand.
It
They
was
were
all-
like a homemade brand.
Before
They
it,
weren't
it was like
famous.
a family-run business.
Yeah.
They
Homemade.
had like a retro radio, but first of all it was FM, which is like gone.
Yeah,
now.
I'm sure FM you can't use unless it's DAB.
It's
I'm
still
sure
a thing, but
FM
like
doesn't...
BBC's no longer does FM, and like
The big names have moved on.
it's all there's some countries that just got rid of FM completely.
Azerbaijan radio.
But-
Was it Azerbaijan Life?
Yeah.
They do FM.
But it had a CD player in it as well, like a built-in CD player.
Cutting edge.
It ran on like D batteries, like the big chunky batteries,
big chunky
instead of
batteries.
having like a lithium-ion rechargeable
It
thing.
was, well, you could plug it into a mains, but then he said, but what if I want to bring it on the go? He said, well, we thought about that. You put in these big D batteries.
4 of these like big batteries. Like it's at least like 10 years out of touch. And then they had these Bluetooth speaker cubes made out of white
Plastic.
like white plastic, like translucent plastic. Like they're ugly as well.
And they had LED in them. There's a horrible LED bulb. Yeah.
Oh, it can adapt to any visual environment you want, any home design you want. Nobody wants LED boxes. No. Like they were so ugly, and then they
don't fit in anywhere. And like they said, oh, they're sleek, they're unnoticeable. No, they stand out as fuck. But
all the lights are controlled by just this like little remote.
You get it as an app. Anyone these days would need an app.
But if you get something like that, you want it to be noticed. So why make it unnoticeable? Why pay that money for something that people won't notice?
Well, the things you can have just have nice audio or like something that's visually appealing rather than this ugly little box. Like, there's a way to make it noticeable and like, oh, that's very nice, that's stylish. I might get one of them. Not, oh, look at this big clunky box that makes noise. It's just one of the most mind-boggling things I've seen. That someone will come up with this and think it's this innovation in 2018 to have like a little remote-controlled light box that plays audio.
It's when they quote-unquote invent something that already exists, so they just slap a new colour on it, maybe give it a tiny additional feature and whack like another 80 quid on the price tag.
Yeah.
Buy now for like this instalment.
Yeah.
And in several months of blood.
It was like 100 quid for a set of 2 as well. Like you could connect up to 99. Who on God's earth is going to
need 99 of them?
Wouldn't you be depleting half an electrical grid?
Yeah.
And you'd also be a hate crime to your neighbours.
And they said
but your fuse box would blow with that amount, surely.
Or if you're managing events, you can get a bunch of these and put them all in the lighting rig. You got lights, you got music, all in one thing.
Yeah, but if you're managing events, you wouldn't buy some tacky piece of shit like that. You would get something remotely.
You get actual lights, you get actual speakers.
Oh my! I love how this episode, it's gone from like the last episode. It was as if we were testing it and being like, "Will this be fine?" And now we know the last episode went fine. We just let it all go.
Now we're just like talking as if we're at the pub.
Yeah, we're talking as if we've had 15
roasting
drinks. We're roasting
companies.
Like, roasting products on an open fire.
Well, there it is. And talking of roasting products, well, no, I'm not going to roast any products actually. I was going to say I think we've talked enough about teleshopping. We're at the 20-minute mark now, so
we've probably got a queue of the companies ready to sue us.
We're going to open the studio door, and there'll be someone in a suit and a libel thing waving it in our face. And
court order, subpoena, whatever.
We'll be sent to court. Well,
so I can something to do this evening, wouldn't it?
There it is. Well, we're back from our 5-minute break. More like 45-minute break.
Yep.
Actually, how long? It was a week.
Yeah.
It was
7 days since we last recorded.
That was a long week.
So for us, we waited a whole week to get back to this episode. But for you, it was like 5 seconds.
No time at all.
Yeah. So obviously, before we continue with the podcast, we best say what actually happened if it took us a week to film the next episode.
The next half.
Well, yeah, the next half. One of us decided to talk about the government.
Oh my god, it's not why the microphone broke. Inexplicably stopped working.
Midway through recording.
You need to insert the X-Files theme tune here for the conspiracy.
Actually, if I do it, we'll get copyright, so I just have to do my own version.
Do a MIDI file.
Just do our tune. Perfect.
There we go.
You're through to the next round.
Copyright now. I can just see the waveform on the software.
You're through to the next round. Don't
but yeah, the microphone I don't know what happened.
Died.
No discernible reason.
Like we just stopped. We paused it, went on our break, came back, and it just died. So we've got a return. We've got it all sorted, and we're here. Got in touch with the
scam artist and sold it to us. No, lovely, and they replaced it immediately.
They replaced it, and it came really quick, but it's just we didn't have time to get back. But now we've got back from that. we can continue where we left off. It does seem like a long time ago, but we did talk about teleshopping, and I did have some more to talk about this time. And I was really going to go off on Big Brother because it just started when we were filming, but I've forgotten everything I was going to say about Big Brother.
Well, basically,
I was
what
going
we're
to go
going
off
to
on
say
it.
is that the entire house this time around is just incredibly boring. It's
Oh yeah,
one of
that's
the
what I was going to
dullest-
say.
Oh,
Let me
God.
actually, I do have a tab.
But hasn't that
saved.
been the thing for like the last 20 odd years?
No.
No, well, yes. But
No? How dare
this
you?
is the, like, it's been flaky before. Like, are these people really celebrities? But this is the flakiest house I've ever seen before. Like, ever in Big Brother. Whereas, like, one of them is, oh, I got kidnapped once. But, like, that's it. That's her claim to fame. She was kidnapped and was on the news for 5 minutes, and then that's why she's in the house.
Dear.
Well, I've got the cast list up for this season.
Obviously, I don't want to say that it's I don't care about being kidnapped. It's a shame she was kidnapped. That's a horrible thing to go through. But then when her entire introduction is,
Why would you put that as your claim
I'm
to
a
fame?
model. I got kidnapped.
Well, this series of Big Brother, it's season 22.
Wow.
Which is weird because it started in Celebrity Big Brother, which is on now. It started a bit after the normal Big Brother, and that was 2000. So they've got to be doing two. I'm sure they do 2 a year, don't they?
Sometimes they have. Just to push it up, yeah.
But obviously, the beginning of this year, we had Anne Widdecombe in Courtney Act, and Courtney Act, beat Anne Widdecombe to the crown and won it. Didn't physically beat her, but that's a different story. But Courtney Act won that one, and I liked that Big Brother. That was the one I watched every day. I normally watch the normal Big Brothers, because I feel that they're interesting. Because there's people you don't know them anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the celebrity one bothers me because it gets to a point where they're just people you've never heard of in years, and that's the worst part. I mean, at least with last year, I knew Courtney Act from Drag Race, and I knew the person from The Apprentice, but that's only because I watched The Apprentice that year. Again, they're not really popular.
But that's the problem, because like you say, they're not celebrities. Like, they go on
Yeah,
there like, oh yeah, I did this. It's like, yeah, you sung one song in the 80s and you were shit then, and no one cared then.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
People only might have heard of you then, so now there's only like 5 people that care about you anymore, and it's just...
Yeah.
But usually they go for a theme, and this year's theme, or the one that's on now, is Eye of the Storm. So it revolves around celebrities who have been in a media storm, or have been in a, what's it, some sort of just controversy, really.
Just in the news, really.
In the news.
So that could apply to any celebrity then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got, originally I think the reason they picked that theme is because months down the line, before they'd even planned the theme, they had Stormy Daniels booked for the show, who, if you don't know who she is, she allegedly slept with Trump.
Yeah.
We have to say allegedly because Trump's denied it and she's said it is true. But they booked her for it. But then they told her, I don't know what happened. We don't know the story on it, but something happened where she didn't go on launch night. They paid her a stupid amount of money. Didn't go on because she has an ongoing court case in America, so she didn't want to be away from home.
A custody battle.
During a custody battle. So they told her she has to be deported back to America. It was this whole big thing that's in the news, but no, she was supposed to be on it, Stormy Daniels. And I feel because she's in that big media storm about did she sleep with Trump, did she not?
Why does it matter? Apart from him being who he is, why does it matter?
See, I don't know too much
because
about the case.
He paid her to have sex with him while he was married to his
he was
married.
It's something dodgy that he's done, but
he's done plenty of
dodgy
worse things since.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, she was supposed to go on it. She didn't turn up. But the other people on it, we watch launch night. I watch launch night every year because I want to see who's on it and who's not on it. And then if I like the cast, I'll stick with it. But if I don't, I'll just turn off. And we watched it, waste of like 2 hours.
I hated it.
It started at 9. It finished like 11. I think
wow.
We didn't even finish it. We just
the worst cast.
They're mundane.
I didn't really care about any of them. One of them was like, I made loads of money and then I wasted it and now I'm in a storm. Oh, boo-hoo.
We've got an ex-criminal in there, haven't you?
Diddums. Oh yeah, we got the guy that destroyed Bearing's
He's
Bank,
in there.
and like played with £900 million of other people's money.
He's in
He only
there
got
now.
6 years in prison, and now he's on TV. Oh, turn my life around. I'm a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
No, he's still being in prison.
You've got the only big name on there, which I'd never even heard of her, but apparently she's big. Kirstie Alley.
Oh, wow.
Kirstie Alley or Kirstie Alley? Oh, so you know her.
Wow.
I don't know her. She's in there this year.
Wow, okay.
Who is she?
An actress from the 80s.
Oh.
Which is probably why I know her.
Well, she's in it. She's their sort of biggest star this year. So
Yeah, she was pretty big. In
you've got someone. Oh, Sally Morgan's in there. Psychic Sally.
Psychic
Sally, which I'm not. We'll save that for another podcast episode on why I'm not really
Has
keen
she
on
predicted who's going to
Psychic
win yet?
Sally.
And if not, why?
Well, who knows? Who else is in them?
See, the thing is, when it started, I liked the idea of it being a good social experiment, because when it started, it was pretty good, because you had that guy, Nasty Nick.
Was this the normal, like the public one?
Yeah, the very first one, because that was a really good social experiment. So you had this guy called Nick, and it's such a long time ago now, but basically he was going between people saying, oh, let's vote this one off, let's vote this one off. And he was playing it really tactical, and then he got found out towards the end, and then funnily enough, he was in a media storm because he got nicknamed Nasty Nick.
Yeah.
But that was a good social experiment about how people kind of in an enclosed environment will react to each other. But I mean, ever since then, it's just been pretty much stunt casting and like deliberate, contrived drama. It's just like when it first started, the concept was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's just descended into farce, really.
I mean, this year's Celebrity Big Brother is apparently the last. Apparently it's the last one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
They've not confirmed it. They have confirmed that the studio where they film it has not renewed them for another like lease or whatever. So they could move to another studio, but I think it's the last for that where they film it now.
Big Brother's like an STI. That thing will spread around. It will stay.
Since they've announced it, I haven't seen anything positive about it. Like the only talk we've ever seen about it is people like, why isn't this dead yet? Yeah, your headline is garbage. Like nobody's enjoying it anymore.
I mean, the thing is, when they're original channel, drop them. That's the kiss of death in itself. Yeah. When you're an original channel that headlines you and made truckloads of money off you, drops you. That's pretty much it.
I mean, Channel 4 held them for a long time already. They
rode that gravy train pretty much beyond the edge of the track.
I think watching the old ones back, I liked Davina McCormick. She was so good. I think she was a good host. I'm not saying that Emma Willis is not a good host. I do like her, but out of the two, I think Davina McCall had that, because it was the original Big Brother. It was that original.
She became
feel.
synonymous with the show, didn't she?
She had that sort of, she sort of connected with them in a way, but also was like harsher. When they were evicted, Davina McCall would just be like, she'd feel like, welcoming to them because they've just been in there, but then she'd be like, what did you do this for? Why did you? She would go into them, but she'd do it in like a nice way. That's the one thing I do miss about this, well, not this year's, but all the Big Brothers from since it's moved over, is when someone is evicted, they interview them, but they don't really grill them on enough. So, like, and Whittaker, for example, and like Courtney, they had that ongoing sort of feud, and none of them really got grilled on why it was going on or what was happening. I feel like they should have. It just pushes it more, really. But
a lot of it just seems quite scripted nowadays, whereas before it felt quite natural in terms of how random strangers who shouldn't know each other beforehand would interact. Yeah. Whereas now it just seems very contrived.
But even on the public Big Brother, I call it the civilian season. Even on the civilian one, a lot of people on there now, they're not famous, obviously, but they're like, when they do that VT, they're like, oh, I'm a social influencer. I'm this, I'm that. And they're all models or something. And it's like, we just want someone like, we want Bob from
Greg's.
Yeah. we want Bob and Alice on the show. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? We just want the really dull, boring people.
Joe Everyman.
Yeah, someone who
someone that's like clawing for fame.
Yeah.
Because guaranteed what you get every season is someone goes in there like, oh, I'm with someone or whatever. They end up sleeping with someone else. Then they become the couple, the power couple. And then it's all over the thing. And then they come out of the house and there's all of that, oh, the ex and does, the ex goes on all like the women's mags, like, oh, I feel so cheated because. And then you have the couple from the house. It's like, our secret love. Oh, fuck my life. And then they go on another show. It's like, oh, well, they're famous because of Big Brother. Like, no, they're famous because they hopped into bed with each other when they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Right? It's like another show.
Why is that being rewarded?
I can't stand. I've never watched it, so I can't really say enough about it. It's Love Island. That one just bores me.
Everyone goes on about it. I don't understand the attraction.
I've never watched it. I don't know really what happens. I know they just go on it for love, but it's like
I can't really pass judgment because I've never.
Not love.
Last. Oh, do you remember that show?
Last Island.
Are You the One? I
remember
wish
seeing
I'd
the
watched that.
adverts
I
with
wish
you.
I'd have seen that.
I remember watching the adverts with you, thinking, "What the fuck is this shit?"
That's basically an American Love Island, wasn't it? Similar. They have to.
I'm pretty sure they did a UK one, didn't they? Are You the One? Because they had
UK. Yeah, they had a UK
like the
one.
prospective quote unquote lovers on there, like the ladies and the chaps.
Yeah.
And then they had to pair up, and then the show would say whether they were a couple, and if the show deemed they were a couple, they would win
like
X amount of money. And you think, what fucking bullshit is this? That must have been some coked up fucking meeting to dream that shit up.
Before they would start the show, the producers would line them up with who they think are a couple, and if they guess correctly what the producers said at the beginning of the show, like by predictions, they win the money. But then it goes along with they're pairing people up who might not work, and they're purposely pairing up for the money.
But the adverts, like you get people that were like all lovey-dovey with each other and actually looked sort of ish together-ish on camera, and then like they'd get the like result thing, someone would open the fucking golden ball or whatever it is and be like no match or no deal or whatever the fucking shit it is, and be like, and you're like, but you're getting on, but you're there's clearly some kind of connection, like it's also false and manufactured. It's horrible.
Well, enough about Big Brother. There was something else I was going to say. Now, obviously, I'm looking at the notes now on what we said, because obviously we had that week where we didn't have the microphone, so I'm just trying to get it back to what we were talking about.
That was a long ass tea break.
Yeah, it was. But Teleshopping, Big Brother, and now I did promise you. I don't know if I promised it on air, off air, what we were recording. Did you talk about the changing rooms? Did I say that to you?
Oh, you mentioned something about teapots.
Yes, well, I was going to tell you all about it because I thought, why not throw it in? We're talking about TV already. Let's talk about change rooms. I've just got to get it up there on the internet. Let me Google it quick.
Then we'll wait while you get it up.
Changing rooms. Do you remember the show Changing Rooms?
I do.
Which was
with their Larry orange.
Was it the 90s?
It was mid to late 90s. Yep, in all its glory.
And
sponge printed walls in Larry colours.
So
sea blue and fucking vomit orange.
I mean,
lovely.
Looking back,
it was god awful. But at the time, we loved it.
At the time, I loved it, and I wasn't. Yeah, I never really knew it. I think because I was so young. I think I was only just born when it was still on.
Yeah, it started before you got born.
Yeah, it started before I was born. So there we go. But change rooms. So there's one episode, right? So the whole idea was we'll go make this room something you'd never expect it to be, or we'll make it something you want it. I didn't. They just tarted the room. You didn't want it in the end.
Yeah, but the best ones that I always wanted to see, like the Lost City, were the ones that you heard about but never saw on TV. Were the ones where the people say, "Oh, I fucking hate it."
Yeah,
I never saw those. You always heard about them, and you just think, "Oh, I wanted to see it."
I just searched changing rooms, and at the very bottom of I haven't scrolled down yet, but at the bottom there's an xvideos.com link.
No,
no, it's just changing rooms.
Oh, changing.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like it's not an actual changing rooms porn.
No, it's not a porn of the show. It's just.
It's not Rule 34.
It's just in changing rooms.
I've got a Rule 34 changing rooms.
I've got everything underneath there. It's just.
Rule 34.
Just not go down there.
They just turn it into they turn someone's living room into like a sex dungeon.
They just turn it into a changing room with hidden cameras everywhere.
Yeah. You're like, well, we've done the place. We've had so much equity.
But I mean, this episode, the one I'm talking about, and a lot of people who are die-hard fans of the show, which there's probably not many, but a lot of people who known the show from them when they were younger, there's one incident which sticks out of all their minds, and it was the Teapot Disaster.
You see, I don't remember this.
So what it was, Linda Barker had this idea, and I'll show you the clip afterwards. We'll take a break in a bit, but she had an idea. It was tighten up someone's living room, and she had the idea of shelving units, but they hung from the ceiling. Right, so they were held by metal strings and just wooden planks, and they put all this stuff.
Probably MDF. They loved MDF to filth.
Well, yeah,
every
probably.
episode, it's like a drinking game. You took a drink every time someone said MDF. Oh, there's another one down.
But this
woman, plastered
woman,
by the end of it.
So the house they were in, she had a really expensive teapot collection, and she said, "Please don't touch it. I like it where it is." And they thought, "Oh, we'll surprise her. We'll make it look nice.
And
we'll touch it, but we'll make it look nice."
We'll do the one thing she told us not to do.
So
but
they
she'll
made
love it.
Yeah,
She'll
they made
love
the
it.
shelf unit, which hung from the ceiling. It was just a plank of wood hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, it was like by wires, this wired sort
Yeah.
of thing, and then like stacks and stacks of planks on this.
So
on these
there's
wires.
a little picture of it there. But then they thought, by doing that, oh, that's not enough. We'll put some books on the bottom of it. So they weighed it down. With
like
books.
there were gaps in it. So it was like, we'll make it more decorative. We'll just fill it in.
Yeah.
It'll look nice.
And they went out the room, and the next minute they walked back in, and the teapot collection was broken. And
the
Linda
entire
Barker
thing came crashing down. All these like antique, expensive teapots shattered.
Apparently, Linda Barker, and at the end of the clip you can look at it on YouTube. The voiceover says she's going to apologise, but it just cuts to black, so you don't know how the other person took it or not.
She probably went to the roof.
I really would have loved to have seen the other person's
probably
reaction.
dead now.
But it's so bad because like the change room. It was like the neighbours did it. So the neighbours who helped,
that's right,
the neighbours who helped had to sit there and watch these like teapots just go, and
they probably weren't neighbours for long. They probably had to sell up and move the next day.
Yeah.
But Linda Barker, she recently went on said about it again on like Twitter because someone reminded her of it, and she just she said it was a bad idea at the time, and apparently the show had to pay out so much money to this woman.
Yeah.
For this antique teapot collection. It's something you've got to look for. We can't play the clip because obviously it's copyright reasons, but just Google it on YouTube or internet.
It's not really an auditory experience.
Yeah, you can't really watch it. You can't really listen to it. It's something you have to watch. But go do that challenge. Okay, so you've seen the video of the changing rooms teapot disaster.
Yeah. Oh goodness, it was awful.
I can't believe they
It was
done it.
just dreadful.
It's mortifying.
Like to think. Imagine if you got home and you were so excited because you thought, "Wow, look, changing rooms have done my room up," and you saw that it just ruined your antique collection. Well,
there it is.
There it is. I don't know what I'd say.
Butcher your house, butcher your teapots.
Yeah, I'd butcher her.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think that now concludes this episode of Keeping a Straight Face. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Talked too much about telly, but
it's been a long. It's been a long one.
It's been a long episode. I think this is our longest one.
Episode.
A week-long episode.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine if the audience had to listen to like the whole week.
Wow.
Yeah, you get something.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet that one. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode, or I keep saying that, this episode of Keeping a Straight Face, and you'll hear from us very soon. I don't know what I did like with ASMR thing there, but they will hear.
You're going for the drama.
I'm going for the drama. Yeah.